Hey everyone, what's going on? I've really been enjoying driving this car over the last 6 months and 2,500 miles or so, and I've been getting more familiar with the different driving modes. It's been a while since my last video, so I wanted to post a quick follow-up and let you all know how things are going, especially with the battery degradation. As far as driving efficiently, I've pretty consistently been able to achieve 7 miles per kilowatt hour, with the highest being 7.4 miles per kilowatt hour. This is likely due to the weather warming up over the last few months, but also could be attributed to better throttle control skills I've acquired. I've found that using B mode alone, with no E-pedal or Eco mode, yields the best results, although, quite literally, your mileage may vary. I'm not in the top 100 Eco rank yet, but I'm not that far off. I've also been doing more highway driving than usual, so that seems to have lowered my overall average miles per kilowatt hour. Still, whenever I find myself in heavy stop-and-go traffic, I quite enjoy turning on the E-pedal and having a relaxing no-rush drive. It's so easy to creep forward without having to go back and forth from the brake. If you're really careful about it, you can still achieve very good mileage with the E-pedal, but you really have to be conscious of using regeneration unnecessarily, as the E-pedal has a much higher sensitivity in this mode. If you have this car, I highly encourage exploring the easily enabled, equally exciting, and electrically enhanced E-pedal.
Oh yeah!
Of course, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. And what kind of video would this be if I didn't have any complaints? Every once in a while, when turning at very low speeds, I would hear a sound like something was dragging under the car. There wasn't anything in the road, and I didn't hear anyone screaming, so I was pretty sure I didn't run over anything or anyone. I finally figured out it was the wheel rubbing against the inside of the wheel well. It doesn't happen every time, and it doesn't seem like I'm turning the wheel all the way to one side when it happens, but it does concern me. There doesn't appear to be any damage or wear on the tires, but this seems like a design flaw, and I'm using the standard Michelin tires that came with the vehicle. My Leaf came with a free Apple Watch Series 3. Other than the watch including a barometer and altimeter, I don't really notice much benefit over my Series 1 Apple Watch. Anyway, one of the gimmicks Nissan was pitching was the EV Services app for the iPhone and Apple Watch. While it is extremely convenient being able to check your charging progress or battery capacity, range, etc., the user interface of the app leaves a lot to be desired. It doesn't refresh automatically in the background, so you have to manually refresh every time you want to check the status. This easily takes 30 seconds or longer, depending on the time of day, which I'm assuming is related to demand. I'm curious how much overhead there is with each pulling of the car data. Whenever you do it, it makes this strange sound. The app also offers other premium subscription-based services like locking, unlocking your vehicle, turning the horn and lights on or off, starting or stopping charging, notifying you if your valet driver takes off with your car in some Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if the vehicle exceeds a certain speed, if the vehicle leaves a specified boundary, or if it's being used after a predefined curfew. These features are free for the first 6 months, but after that it costs $8 a month. Needless to say, I won't continue the premium subscription at that price. The main issue, however, is much more concerning. Early on, I noticed a pretty steady decline in the battery's state of health, as reported by LeafSpy. This decline has continued, and over the last 6 months, the state of health has decreased more than 3%, or about 3.5 amp hours. I'm curious to know if any other 2018 Leaf drivers have been keeping an eye on their state of health and if they're seeing the same thing. To date, I've done about 35 level 1 or level 2 charges and about 5 level 3 charges. I've never let the charge level drop below 20%, so I don't believe I'm pushing the battery to its limits or treating it harshly. As I understand it, Nissan won't replace the battery unless it drops below approximately 66% capacity. At the current rate of decline, I should get there after about 3.5 years. Interestingly enough, the dashboard still indicates that the battery's state of health is at 100%. I tend to believe LeafSpy as you actually get real data from it, but who knows. All complaints aside, I'd like to end on a positive note and talk about some upcoming videos I'm working on. I was able to easily fit this 27U rack cabinet in the back of the Leaf, with the seats down. There was still plenty of room too. In this cabinet, I've set up a lab network to learn about and test an Aruba OS 8 mobility cluster to provide highly redundant network services with advanced features. If you're interested in that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out some of my others.